All right, so I just want to just get your take on the market in general. I've had about a week of the so-called Trump trade post-election. We heard Nelson Peltz yesterday saying it just can't go on forever. Something's going to happen. What do you think?
So I think we're readjusting to the idea that capital is going to come to the U.S. Capital is going to get treated better on average than it was before under the Biden-Harris administration under Trump. And so the dollar's stronger, equity expected returns are higher, and rates are a little bit higher as well, as the Fed has to reassess whether that means the same trajectory for rate path. The rate path is as low as it was before. We've seen all of that kind of come through. I don't think there's been a lot of surprises from a macro perspective, Frank. The surprise really only came in that yields didn't go up that much in the first week of trading. Last week, we closed the 10-year basically unchanged from its pre-election levels after a big spike up in the dollar and a big spike in the S&P 500 and Dow. Now yields are kind of getting a little bit more squishy if you're looking at it as a bond holder, and we moved about 15 basis points off those levels. Not a lot. I think in the grand scheme of things, this has been a very orderly market and a very I think, expected storyline that you got from most investors thinking about what a Trump win would be.
You know, I'm going to stick with this delivering alpha theme for a minute. Nelson Peltz also said he believes that Elon Musk is going to help reduce government spending. You actually just put out a note recently about bond yields. This is why we're talking about bond yields. It's called the Trump Flattener. I'm going to read part of it. I kind of shortened it, David. So you wrote this. You know what I'm saying. So contrary to popular opinion, a red sweep in Congress will make it easier to take government spending lower. A divided government brings compromise. To get things done in a divided world, there is inevitably more government spending. So in your mind, does the idea of Elon Musk coming in and cutting spending, does that kind of calm down these quote-unquote bond vigilantes and change the bond market considerably and also, I guess, positively benefit the equity market? Is that what you're saying there?
That is what I'm saying. And I think, I would definitely agree with the theme that Nelson, who's a great investor and a great client of Jefferies as well, is saying. I think he's exactly right. This gives a much easier path toward a Reagan-esque style deregulation move, which is one very positive thing for capital holders, but also for spending, for a smaller government sector. And Frank, remember, when you have a big government sector, you're actually taking resources away from the private sector and using them, generally speaking, less efficiently in the government sector. We're going to pull those resources back to the private sector, give them to the Nelson Peltzes of the world, not the secretaries of a variety of departments to spend in ways that seem a little bit strange. And I think as a country, we're going to get a better return on capital.